Hey y'all, today's recipe is jalapeno hot water cornbread. Okay, you're going to need, of course, oil, about 1.5 cup of yellow cornmeal mix, a cup of water. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of diced jalapeno, and then you're going to need about 3 tablespoons of sugar. So you want to go ahead and place your oil on the stove. I'm putting it in this pot and going ahead and get it heated while we get everything together. Okay, so just go ahead and add all your ingredients into your bowl except your hot water. While I was adding the ingredients into this bowl, I had my hot water in the microwave. I microwaved it for about a minute or two and just made sure that it was like piping hot before I got ready to add it into the mixture. Alright, so we have everything into the bowl, and there's our hot water, and we're just going to go ahead and pour that in. I poured a little bit at a time just so I can get in there and start mixing everything, and it wasn't super hot to where it was burning my fingers, because y'all, it's literally hot water. Okay, so you want to get in there and you want to go ahead and just, manipulate the mixture with your fingers. It start to form a clump just like this. And as it continues to form, it'll get a little bit smoother, but you don't want it runny like you're making regular cornbread. You have to form a patty with this mixture. So we're going to add the remaining water and then just continue to work the mix with your fingers. And as you can see, it's getting wetter and it's forming a little bit more as we're getting in there and we're working this mixture. You definitely want to use your fingers, y'all. This is just one of those things. You got to get your hands in there and really feel this mixture and get it done just like that. Don't use a spoon, use your hands. You see how we're forming it right here? You need your fingers for that. If you don't want to touch it, definitely go ahead and put some gloves on. Okay, so everything is mixed together, so we're going to go ahead and get ready to flatten everything out into little patties. So you just want to get a scoop of the mixture, put it in your hand, and begin to work it. Now, I went ahead and patted all of these out for you all just so you can see what my process was and how I kind of shaped them a little bit at the end. But I ended up having to reshape some of them as I went because these are so moist that they kind of stuck to the plate as I was picking them up to put them in the oil. So you can do them like this. You can do them one at a time and add them into the grease as you're cooking. Just kind of play with it and see what works. Okay, so I ended up getting about 5 pieces of cornbread out of this mixture. So you'll only see 4. I only had enough of 4, could only fit on the plate, but I ended up doing 5. Alright, so you just want to keep flattening your patties out, or your patties out, that's what we'll call them, until you have them shaped the way you want to, and try to make them, I guess, equally even as possible before you put them into the oil. Okay, so we're almost done with that. And y'all, by the way, do not cook this cornbread until you're getting ready to serve it. Hot water cornbread is only best fresh. You start and let it get cold and all that type of stuff, let it set up, it's not as good. So only cook it fresh. All right, okay, so our grease is hot, so we're ready to go ahead and add the cornbread in there. So I just went ahead and just dropped it in there, and you can flip it over part of the way through, just to make sure that it's cooked on both sides. But as you can see, the cornbread completely immerses into the oil once you add it into your pot or your pan. So you don't have to flip them if you don't want to. Now you definitely want to keep a close watch on your cornbread because it doesn't need to cook no more than about a minute or 2. It just depends on how thin or thick your cornbread is. It can definitely burn pretty quickly. So just, lift it up with your spatula and check on it as you're cooking it. And once it turns brown, then you can go ahead and take it out of the pan. You want to make sure that it turns brown because you don't want your cornbread to be undercooked on the inside. And our cornbread is almost done. Once it's brown, which I'll show you here in a minute, you want to make sure that you transfer it to a paper towel covered dish so the remaining of the oil can go ahead and soak off of the cornbread, y'all. And at the end also, I'll show you how the cornbread looks on the inside. Alright, y'all, this is a classic southern recipe. Here it is, it's done. Classic southern recipe. Serve this with some greens, some fried chicken, all that good stuff. And y'all, definitely enjoy. As always, we hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like it, share it, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and we'll definitely catch y'all next time.